everybody, and welcome back to Reality Kingdom, where we talk all things reality TV or whatever. I'm your host, Pharaoh. We are joined by our wonderful host, Lily. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I know some of y'all mad. Because we be delaying this challenge, girl. We be delaying this. No shade, it was better. If no shade, it was better. See, the girls got jobs, and the girls have other things to do. So sometimes the shows that are not, serving like that, well, they can be done on Saturday. No, I'm sorry. Now we do have a few other things coming up that we want to cover. So we're gonna have to be on top of things, So we may be on time moving forward, but we apologize for today.
Maybe. But y'all. So last episode, if you don't recall, Olivia and Horatio were helped, in order to take out Mother Michelle and Father Jay.
Well, so, Mother Michelle, that man Jay, maybe.
Mother Michelle and other.
And Milkman. Mother Michelle and McMahon.
Mm-hmm. So they came back to the villa, and at the villa, Olivia has a diary room, and she's like, me and Nelson, we still good, even though he played in my face and he chose.
Oh, speaking of Nelson, y'all. So I'm scrolling on Twitter, as one do, and I see, no shade, it was an NSFW page, no shade, y'all know how Twitter is, dick and ass is everywhere. So I see Nelly T. Shot an OnlyFans promo, y'all. Now I don't have the name. But y'all, it's big. It is big. And I was shocked. Were you gagged, Pharaoh?
It's that name, that website / Nelson Thomas.
Oh, so you subscribe? You're a fan. You're an OnlyFan.
I don't subscribe.
$15 a month. Immediately I saw it. Because I'm not going to lie. Like, of course Nelson was fine. But Nelson just always gave, I don't know, like I said, it really just reminds me of Labrador Retriever. Just very, very loyal.
It didn't give swanger.
It did not. But the fact that he packing like that, I mean, I can see why he a little stupid. That's the thing. Him and Fessy got the biggest dicks in there. They both dumb as hell. Clearly, there's a correlation.
If I had to guess, I would think Turbo, back in the day, that Turbo is one of the, thicker ones. The foreign men. Foreign men have a lot. So, heavy.
Turbo get in it.
I just was thinking about him. I don't know. But anyways, so after this.
All that to say, Olivia girl, hey, taste, mamas. Taste. I understand. We see each other.
We good.
We good.
After that, Nelson and Fessy, they're talking, and Anissa, is also there. And they're talking basically about how, it sucks because they just got thrown in, and Nelson and Fessy are now getting thrown in by people, and we got to play the game.
And he had a dining room, and he's like, he relieved to be saved, but he's just tired of losing because, he could be a 2 or 3 times champ, but he's a 2 or 3 time loser, and it's like, yeah, because you're not playing the game actually. But we moved.
After that, we see Fessy go cry to Mariah. So Fessy is crying, weeping
to Mariah. His ride or die,
allegedly.
Supposedly.
Allegedly. So he's crying. And Mariah was like, girl, why are you crying? And Fessy was like, Bananas and Jordan, they keep winning, and I'm just as good as them, aren't I?
And he's like, I just feel like my capabilities stack up. And it's like, it's because they're not actually playing the game. He said it himself in this whole entire this season earlier. I don't really go around doing too much politics. I like to let my performance speak for itself. Yeah, so you're not going to speak to anyone, make any social connections, and expect them to save you after being a great competitor. Make that make sense, Fessy. You play Big Brother. Like, you got a little sense. Like, this is what pisses me off. He has a little sense, and he's just acting dumb. Like, of course, Bananas and Jordan are going to do well, because not only are they good at competitions, they are also liked by people. If you recall, which he probably didn't even do his research, Bananas was hated when he first came on. Him and all of his real world cast members, they did not like them. Bananas lost a lot. He had to earn that respect by building connections. Same with Jordan. Jordan wasn't the most liked. He was the hothead. People really did not fuck with Jordan at all, really. But now, over time, he has friends. You're not talking to anybody. You're not doing anything but playing other people's game. And now you want to cry like a little bitch after not doing shit? You can't do that. You cannot do that. He comes here, he has his little fun. He want to play in bitch's face like he did Nelson previously, like he does Mariah this episode. But it's confused why he lose, because you're stupid.
Period. Point blank. Yeah, when he started talking and he mentioned Jordan and Johnny, I was like, you mean the people who are like politicking, two of the best politickers of this game has seen? Like, I don't know. Like, the people who do the thing that you say you don't never want to do? I don't know.
Like, talk to people?
Speak?
And it's like, I mean, of course we're gonna get into it, but it's like it all stems from him and Nelson being weak ass bitches, and I will stand by that because who wins this round?
A weak ass bitch.
That's
a bad bitch. So after that, Mariah has a diary room. She's like, I don't know why Fessy feels this way about himself. I hate when he talks like that because he is that girl. He could do good, and he is great, and I just want to help him, and I want to be there for him, and I want to tell him like, you don't need to be thinking that you're lesser than because you just got put in once. Like, you're still that girl. Like, we got this. Woo, woo, woo.
Does not deserve her at all.
Does not deserve. Mariah's very nice for that.
Very sweet.
I probably would have giggled in his face a little bit. Even if he was my ride or die. Like, I just don't see why you're crying. Like, nothing even happened. You didn't even
I honestly thought, like, the reason why he was crying, I didn't care about it at all, because it's like, you did it to yourself. But it's like, seeing him cry first, I was like, oh, he's being vulnerable. Look, I never seen Fessy cry.
Mm-hmm.
He's an asshole.
Yep.
And then he proved why he is.
He did.
Niggas will cry in your face and stab you in the back the next day. You see how niggas is, y'all?
Y'all niggas is crazy. And this is how they really be in real life. They're like, this is for real, man.
This is IRL.
This is a human. This is a human for real. Man. So after this, we see Johnny and Nani have a discussion.
Bananas.
Johnny has a diary room. He's basically like, Nani has a lot and I have a lot, but one thing Nani don't got is a win. So, once again, I'm here to help.
I really don't understand why the challenge does that. Like, this is the 19th time he said that this season. We get it.
30th.
We know why he's here. We understand. Is there any other update?
There wasn't. After this, Horatio and Olivia, they're playing soccer.
And one thing Horatio gonna do is play that goddamn soccer ball.
He's gonna play with the ball.
Because didn't Olivia basically say he ain't talking about it the whole time. He just played soccer.
He just played soccer.
I got that playing soccer with him.
At least play with somebody else.
That's the thing. I ain't never played soccer in my life. I ain't never even
I would have learned that
soccer ball. I would have learned that day.
Mm-hmm. I would have been a pro by the end of the
season.
season.
Where are you from? Matter of fact, where's everybody from, bitch? Like, let's see.
So Olivia and Horatio, they're talking or whatever. Olivia has a diary room, and she's like, I just got the perfect ride or die. Like, he's that girl. He knows
he's perfect. He's the strongest. He's the best. He's fine as hell. He can dick me out.
That's what I would have been saying.
I really don't get how. I'm assuming I wonder if her and Horatio did it before. Like, because ain't no way you haven't wanted that dick or had already had it. Like, it's giving like she was that was an old phase maybe. Because ain't no way I'm just besties with that.
I think it would have to be an old phase. I couldn't just be besties.
Not initially. And we couldn't start off as besties. Not looking like that.
Not looking like that.
You got to be my man.
You would have had to give me that good dick a good 2-3 times until I was like, it's not all that.
Yeah.
And then I would have moved along because I could see.
I don't know. I would still be in that phase. He'd be talking to Laurel and I'd be like, I mean, as long as you know who was it.
Oh no. Okay, so Horatio has a diary room, and he's like, I was that kid on the soccer field who would get mad after my game. And I know that kid. I know that kid. And that kid could get his dick sucked after the game.
Oh my God.
He could.
I guess
not the kid, but
competitive people, definitely. I see that. I see why you would probably get upset about that.
You don't seem like you understand.
I don't. It's never that serious to me, especially the way he was acting this episode. No shade. That's still my man. But he was doing a lot. Calm down.
Horatio says that he be getting mad if he lose, and he's just not satisfied with his performance because we're doing okay, but we're not being the it girl.
And it's like I don't know why he expected to come in and be the it girl. I mean, no rookie really comes in and just start dominating daily.
I don't know what rookies do and vets do. He don't know those words.
You're right, but I know what he can.
What can he do?
A lot.
We can cannot talk about him because we can't be serious. After this, we get my man gets his first speaking scene.
Not your man.
Of the movie. And I love it.
One thing, if y'all haven't noticed, Pharaoh is different. And he loves the flirts with the other different people.
What are you calling
the irrelevant people?
I'll give you that.
Some would probably not be that gagged over, per se, in the look department. But that's Pharaoh's man.
So the front of my Eiffel Tower and the back of my Eiffel Tower talk. Casey and Kenny.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
They're siblings.
That's why it's an Eiffel Tower, not a threesome.
Oh my God.
Fine siblings. So,
if it's a child,
I don't even, I'm telling y'all, I don't even know what they said because all I have written down is this is the first time I've heard Kenny's voice. It was a good voice.
It's funny.
As light as I thought it was going to be. It was like a little deeper. It was like, I was like, ooh.
It was a little bit deeper. I thought he was LGBT. I'm not even going to lie. I guess not.
His sister is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where you got
I thought he was too.
He wasn't. Voice was deep. Well, I can't say he was.
I've never heard him speak. I don't know anything about his personality. He could be. He could not. We don't know. He has a wife and kids. We do not know.
We genuinely don't know.
Casey mentioned in this scene that sometimes she be forgetting that nigga here. So what does he be doing? My thing is, I wonder if like Horatio and Kenny can be friends. Like, why they not friends? I think they'd be good friends. Both look quiet.
I don't think they would get along with each other for real.
They both quiet. They don't do too much.
One quiet play soccer. One quiet don't do nothing.
Nothing.
I feel like
Kenny giving me, he be in the house reading. Like, he be in
reading,
alone.
cooking, cookbooks. He be in the kitchen. Case said she saw him in the kitchen one day. I was like, oh.
All right.
In the kitchen. Wrist twisted. Like
I feel like ain't no way. Like, if I came into this environment, I'm going to be friends with all your friends. Like, you're not going to leave me alone. Especially
you're not going to leave me alone. Some niggas like being alone, though. I think that's why, like, don't want to be friends with them.
That's true. That's true. But like that's why honestly, like for the anxiety level alone, I feel like honestly I couldn't do the challenge. It's too many motherfuckers in that house. It really is.
Just be by yourself with Horatio. Or Horatio.
And it's like that's the thing too. Then you feel awkward because it's like all these people need you by yourself. It's just like
or all these people you with Horatio.
And if I'm bad at the challenges, it's like damn. So really I'm like because that's the thing, if I'm bad at the challenges, I'm starting drama. So I'm gonna have to be messy.
If I was in this house, guaranteed, I would just hang out with Horacio trying to get that dick.
I would hang out with Amber
and Kenny trying to get that dick.
Amber. I think I would just fuck with Amber a lot.
I wouldn't want to fuck with Amber because she with her man. I hate being with somebody who with their man.
Would be with
I just
man.
hate it. Like
I think I would love Nerese though. I would love Nerese,
but Nerese also with one of the men.
Love Olivia, probably.
Olivia's also with her man.
Also with the man. Well, where my man at? I'll be with
maybe you need. I'll be with Horatio. That's what I'm saying. See, but if we run the eyes, I'm gonna be with Horatio. Where you gonna be at?
Child.
You know, I'll be with Kenny. You're good. You're good. So after this, we get Tori and Devin. Hold on, Tori and Jordan wrestling. Yeah, and I was like, why are they wrestling?
Child.
But we see why.
And then Tori, she mentions that it was a rush of emotions when she first saw Jordan, and now like they're settled, they're living each other again, and she's like. She feels like, you know, they can rekindle something. She uses the word rekindle, but like they obviously have to like work it out. Child, we get Jordan's point of view. He says, yeah, we have a deep connection. And they also show that he proposed on the challenge. Now, we haven't been watching the challenge, so we didn't know. I think that's so cute. Like, and he was like, yeah, we cuddling, yeah, we wrestling, but it doesn't mean they're getting back together. And this is what...
He said, we're not rekindling.
We're not rekindling. We're not. He said, we're not. We are not. And this is where... And we've talked about this. We've covered a few love shows. Like, y'all need to watch these men out there, okay? Because Jordan will cuddle next to you naked. He'll wrestle with you. He'll cook for you in the morning. He'll say he love you. He'll all the way dick you down. And then we'll turn around and say, I mean, we're not rekindling anything.
We wasn't really rekindling anything.
I mean, of course I love you. I mean, we're going to get into it. But it's like,
had a guy.
Men are capable of just... They will initiate everything that equals a relationship. They will do every single action that equals a relationship except claiming you. That's it. Like, niggas ain't shit.
And I'm the same way. So I would have been new. But honestly, when Tori said potential of rekindling, I almost went through the TV and slapped at myself.
But baby, but see that, and I knew this was coming on as soon as she saw him, because the first night he was there, they slept in the same bed together. I was like, Tori, you should explain this whole story. I remember saying on the podcast, I don't think this is smart, but we moved, and it definitely wasn't. It's just, I think it's complicated. It really is. There's a lot of emotions involved, but.
I don't know. All these bitches walking around calling her friend. If y'all was her friend, you wouldn't have let her walk around looking stupid like that.
Amber Anissa ain't shit, and that's the problem.
I think you say Amber, a bitch who Tori and Anissa talk shit about to this day. On Twitter to this day talking shit about.
I wondered that though. I wondered that, like, no shade, because Anissa and Tori were friends. This was an iHeartRadio podcast, and I'm not trying to be messy or whatever, but I get it that Anissa and Jordan are ride or die for the show, but it just felt like Anissa's too neutral with this shit. Like, you're supposed to be Tori's friend. Fuck Jordan.
Tori's best friend. Lee, if you was walking around that house and it was your ex in that house who had you going through these feelings, emotions, you had to go see this person about it, baby, you're not talking to them. And if you're talking to them, you're not my friend. Now we're beefing. Because why are you being stupid? No, and I feel like that's what a real friend knows. Shit! But if you was a real friend, you would have let your friend. First of all, why are you coming up here as another nigga right now? Okay, I get it. You trying to get your check. Never mind. But pass the check.
Yeah.
We don't have to.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. I'm assuming they didn't know neither, because I will say that's another scene with Anissa and Nani, and she's bringing up the situation, and no one mentions he may not be interested. I think Nani says, actually, there's still love there, and it's like, y'all can't listen to y'all friends because they don't know neither. Yeah, they don't know. No one knows what's going on in that man's head but him.
But they shouldn't really even want her to be back with him, because according to the breakup, Tori went through it. And if you went through it from a breakup from somebody, why the fuck? And that's the thing. These people are older than us, and we telling them, and we're able to comprehend this.
And that's I will say, I'm not mad at Tori. I know a lot of love was there. I just think she really went in too deep. The first night he was there, she was back in bed with him. That was not smart. And I'm definitely not slut shaming or anything like that. I hope that doesn't be construed. Get your dick, girl, because I'll be fucking on Jordan too. I'm a proud advocate. I'm a proud advocate of getting the dick without the emotions. If you can't get the dick and leave the emotions, you don't need to be fucking around with him. And that's why I didn't think it just wasn't smart. It just was not smart.
But Tori is emotionally involved. I'm more mad at Tori's friends, because when the person is more emotionally involved, they're gonna act off them emotions. I'm sorry. You can't really cut your emotions away and throw them away. She wanted that dick and she likes that man. She does. But if her best friend is in the house, wouldn't her best friend be like, I don't think you should be sleeping in bed with him night one, babe. You just went through this, and this. I was just on the phone with you yesterday about it. But hey, we move. These challenge besties are not always the real besties.
But not within the real right eyes.
Next, we see Nerese. These are co-workers. Theresa and Olivia, they talk. And basically, Theresa and Jordan have been.
And it's like, Jordan is down with the brown for real.
And I'm brown, bitch. Like, don't let me get in this house.
I will say this one feels a little bit random, because I understand the Naya, because I know the history with him and Naya in Portland. I was there with that. You know what I mean? Tori, I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care. But
random or Nerese is the finest bitch in the house.
Nerese is the finest bitch up in the motherfucking house. I'm not saying it's random for that. I'm gagged that Nerese want him. I just thought, like, Jordan is attractive in a way, but I just feel like Nerese, baby. I don't know. I just feel like Nerese. I just like for you, Nerese. No, I don't know. Maybe because I'm thinking maybe the aesthetic of Johnny just fit better with her. But that's the thing, she ain't want Johnny and Johnny. Apparently, Johnny ain't shit either. That's the thing. No matter if the nigga ugly or beautiful, he ain't gonna be shit. So it really don't matter. Sure. But it's just like, honestly, that pairing, I was just like, Nerese and Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
It's just random. It just feels very random. But basically, Olivia and Nerese talking, and Nerese is basically saying, you know, she wants to pursue something with Jordan. Like, he's a great guy. Personality is a 10 out of 10. You know, dick is probably a 12 out of 12. But I'm not trying to pursue something with him while hurting Tori. Now, I vaguely remember Nerese from Are You the One? She does not give that much of a damn. I don't know why. You want that nigga and you gonna keep talking to him, because she said the same shit with Johnny girl. It was Raven. I mean, I just don't want to hurt Raven, and was still smiling in that nigga's face. Like, please
I don't know.
stop.
And Olivia had a great response in my opinion.
She
Olivia was like, "Girl, that's not your friend for real. That's not your kid.
Don't owe her nothing." But that's hold on. But Olivia was low key inconsistent here because she said that, but in the dining room, she was like, "Honestly, it's not smart for her to be doing this because Tori is visual is going to come after that ass, but low key is giving Olivia mastermind." She was like, "Okay, I'm gonna let her
go." But in the diary room, I'm gonna be aware of the fact that she probably shouldn't keep going. But hey,
that is gonna cause tension because that is definitely gonna cause some tension. And who's out of it? Olivia. That's the Olivia been dropping her little seeds. Y'all gotta watch out for Olivia. And she end up in that final. I will not be gagged.
That's one of the reasons why Horatio needs to calm it down later.
Yeah, because one of the main reasons why they're here is because of Olivia, because we know
the main reason.
The mother Olivia, because we know that he didn't talk that much. At least that we got confirmed from Olivia that he didn't talk that much. He only talked to Laurel. That's because she talked to him. No shade. So the only why people are loving them is because of Olivia. Mm-hmm. Mother Olivia.
Queen running, helping her team get to the end.
We love our mother.
Anyways, after this, we get Amber and Chauncey talk. Mm-hmm. And basically in the DR, Amber is like, she's not afraid that. Oh wait. In the DR, she's like, Chauncey's not afraid to be himself, and that's what I really love.
Vulnerable, to be a man,
to be vulnerable, to cry, and to. And I understand.
Chauncey is fine. Chauncey is really fine.
I was on Twitter or Instagram, I don't know, and I was just scrolling. It was like some pictures of Chauncey just shirtless. Mm-hmm. And it was just a man. It was a lot of him,
and he gives that. Even in the guy room, he had a little cry moment saying about I think his grandfather watching him on TV. It was like, we love a sensitive, strong man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was saying how his grandfather would be really, really proud of him, and that just really touches him. And it's just, you can cry on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Child, Amber would beat your ass.
Amber would literally beat my fucking ass.
Amber would fight. Amber would fight over Chauncey. Like,
So after this, Jordan
messy.
So Jordan is finna lay down, and he lays down in someone else's bed, and it's not Tori's girl. So he lays down in Nerese's bed, and Nerese walks in, and she's like, "Oh, you in my bed?" And he was like,
she hops on in.
She hops right in. Fits real perfectly nice in there. Mm-hmm. And Jordan has a diary room, and he's like, honestly, I mean, the stress of this game just gets to me. And, it's great to relieve the stress of this game in many ways. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those ways.
And then also, I mean, no shade, but we watched him dick Nia down on Challenge All Stars. And then this happened. Now, the filming for these two seasons could not have been that far from each other. I didn't know Jordan was out here slinging dick like this.
Dick just going everywhere. And it can come my way. What do I have to do? Like, baby, I don't know.
My way.
Don't let me get on the challenge, y'all. Whether it's Fessy, Horatio, Jordan, like Chauncey.
Some of y'all.
I don't know. Let me shut up. Chauncey got a girl. He has a girl, but Nelson. Oh, Johnny. But now it's Johnny. Well, it wasn't, but now it is. Anybody, because he got a new face, so I'm not too worried.
New face.
So after this,
Devin,
we get a slight clip of Mariah and Johnny, and then we go to the challenge.
Yeah. We also get a slight thing of Olivia and Nelson too. They do the little couples montage.
Yeah, couple montage.
We don't give a damn.
And we don't have there has like been zero scenes of Mariah and Johnny actually speaking to each other since the first introduction, but they showed that to let us know they know each other.
And there's gonna be some drama this episode specifically.
Yeah,
it probably just doesn't mean anything because Mariah was irrelevant up to this point anyway. Girl. No shade.
Who? I'm sorry. I didn't even see. I forgot Mariah was here. I forgot Kenny was here. They had to show people we ain't never seen.
I mean, there were other people of the show. And I went 30 minutes. They got to fill it with something.
That's true. Remember at the end of the last episode, we was like, there's a bunch of irrelevant bitches left. But anyways, we get to the challenge, and it's a mini final, bitch.
Yeah.
And I was like, a mini final? Never heard of that. But hey, I'm new. So I guess I don't know what's going on. But they have to run a 6-mile course, and during that, they have checkpoints, similar to a final, bitch. So you have to run this big-ass course and have to check in at these checkpoints and complete the tasks at the checkpoints. First bitch to finish wins the motherfucking challenge. But this is going to be a very special challenge to win. So you better get going, bitch. So
they also have to carry this plank with them the whole time.
They do have to do that, unfortunately. So we see that Devin has a diary room. He's like, me and Tori are just the strongest pair. Now, I don't know if he meant mentally. After that, Casey has a diary room. And she's basically like, mini finals will test like if you got what it takes. So when they start and they all start running, her and Kenny are running. She's like, I want to see if Kenny's able to actually push through and finish this shit, because if he can't, then we not winning the final. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, girl. All right. After this, Anissa and Jordan have found themselves quickly in the back of the pack.
So they have to do what they have to do.
Everyone is running with a plank, and Anissa is and yeah. So Anissa has a diary room, and once again, she's like, I'm not the fastest. I'm actually slow. But I'm smart as fuck. And, it's like
and she was like, we gonna pass people.
Are they?
No.
And like smart. Like she says it, but it's like, how they be like, show me, don't tell me.
You need to be shown.
Quick.
Because she's not saying shit.
At all. After this, quickly we see that Fessy and Mariah have taken off, and Theresa and Nelson have taken off. So they are running. They are like number 1, number 2 at the front of the pack. The backs, they lead the pack.
And the thing about Fessy, and this is, I feel like this is a bigger part of Fessy's issue, because even this part, he's like, a lot of people want to go slow and steady, but he wants to be out in front and let people know who that nigga is. And it's like, okay, that's great for show, but where's the real reasoning in that? I mean, if Mariah can keep up with that pace, then what you would have done? Start yelling at her? Then you don't have to be in the front of the pack to prove what to who.
It's
that
giving
you're
insecurity.
Strong and that we can't beat you in the finale?
It's giving insecurity. The final that you can't make it to? Please. I don't know. Honestly, Fessy just screams insecure. He has since.
Yeah, especially the little comments like, does Horatio hug you like this?
Literally. Like, why are you jealous of Horatio? Horatio is kicking his ball and you're mad. Please.
Literally.
Anyways, so Mariah has a diary room. She's like, you know what? I let Fessy set the pace, and I keep up with the pace, so I'm chilling. It's like, okay, good.
Yeah, she don't do too much. She don't do too much complaining. She
don't do too much at all.
At all.
That's the issue. So after that, we get to the first checkpoint. The first checkpoint is that you're going to use your plank to place across these 3 different barrels. And as you're placing them across these 3 different barrels, you kind of have to move the barrels in order to get all the way across the field. And if you touch the ground, you have to restart, bitch.
Very simple. A lot of work. Simple. It's something very tedious. A
lot of work. Tired, bitch. So they get to starting. And it's first Theresa, Nelson, and Fessy and Mariah have made it there first. So they all start crossing their planks, crossing their barrels with their planks first or whatever. And then as that happens, we see the rest of the people flood in. And the rest of the people starting their little pathway across this fucking field. Except Jordan and Nisa are not there just yet. So everyone has started before them. Then we get a diary room from Theresa. She's like, yeah, me and Nelson, we got this endurance shit. These endurance challenges, we can get it. Ah! Girl, the thunder is crackling. She was like, we can get it.
Loud. That was thunder?
That was thunder. Well, lightning. Wait, what's it? No, thunder. Yes.
I'm scared.
Theresa Nelson.
You like gag?
Girl, I'm scared. Theresa was like, yeah, me and Nelson, we got it when it comes to the endurance. So we probably can win this. And at this point, they're kind of in the lead of getting their barrels across. Then we see Jordan and that girl pull up. So they started their shit.
And Jordan is hilarious because every checkpoint they come in behind. He's like, I'm gonna catch up. Y'all better watch out.
Y'all better be moving fast. Because we will be coming. Like, please. Coming from where? Coming for who? So anyways, Banani are trying to, bitch,
roll the wheel. Literally, because
they have the barrels
basically
on the
you
side.
have to walk across your planks to move all the barrels. And the wheelbarrows have to be standing upright. They have them on their side trying to roll it like it's a car, as if the wheels will stay under. It's just, and Nani just going with it. Banana's just moving. It's bad. They was actually going somewhere though. They weren't just sitting there. But then 90 foot touched the ground.
So Nani's like, what are we doing? And Johnny has a diary room. He's like, it don't seem like Nani know what we're doing, and she just needs to get it together and get rolling, bitch.
So Nani didn't know he was doing either, really.
He didn't. So Nani's foot touches the ground, and she's like, "Damn, Johnny!" He's like, "What? It was you. Your foot touched the ground."
Nani be so over Johnny. Arguing. She be so over Johnny.
They start arguing.
Like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing?
Right? It just seemed like he'd been playing games.
Like I feel like that's what she think every single time. You supposed to help me win. What are you like?
Mm-hmm. There's a theory on Twitter that Johnny Banana's been throwing all these dailies.
I doubt it.
I don't think so either. But that's the theory. I don't know. That's the theory. Mm-hmm. After that, we get a scene of Anissa and Jordan. And they're actually doing pretty good, mostly thanks to Jordan.
Mm-hmm. And of course.
Jordan is damn near hanging off the barrels and wiggling his body around the barrels and shit. I don't know. That man is moving. But as he's moving extra fast to try to catch up because they can't run the fastest, he ends up touching the ground. So they have to restart. Unfortunately. After this, we see Nelson and Theresa are in the lead. We get a diary room from Chauncey, and he's like, damn, Nelson and Theresa in the lead. And you know, Nelson and Theresa have a one-sided beef with Chauncey and Amber for no reason.
Very one-sided. Like, I just don't understand it. But it's like, period. Chauncey gonna stand by his woman. He said he blindsided my girlfriend. It's beef. Period.
So we see that Theresa and Nelson get finished first. So they're already headed to the next checkpoint. Yeah. And Nelson has a diary room. He's like, you know what? This is my season to win. Like, I'm here to win.
Maybe if you were actually playing. That's the thing. I think
playing well, maybe.
Because he has Theresa, who's really good at these challenges. They're a great team. They really are. Mm-hmm. Look how well they did in this challenge. And he won 2 dailies this year when he had won 0 consecutively for years. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you're never going to win. And this really could have been the time for him to win if he got out these motherfucking veterans and was at the end with these rookies that he could beat. But he didn't want to do that. Mm-mm. Now, we don't know if he ends up in the final or not. I just doubt it. I honestly just doubt it.
And if he does, I don't think he can win the final. You would have to, like...
If he does, it's all Theresa. That's
what I'm saying. Theresa has never done a final.
Yep.
So you would have to run this final with someone who never has done a final versus other teams who possibly.
But Nani, Tori, and Devin, all 4 of them have run finals. They're all running with and you're here with them. But you wanted to get out Tommy and Elise, Colleen and Kim, Tommy and Jay and Michelle. Like, come on now,
please. Y'all and then Amber and Chauncey. Come on now. After that, Fessy and Mariah are in second place. They kind of on Nelson and Theresa's ass at this point. So we get to moving. So at this point, we get a montage of the people getting done. The girls are getting done. Tori and Devin are in third. And then after that, everybody else goes flooded in. So we see a scene of Olivia and Horatio and Chauncey and Amber. They get done. And at this point, so the last team left is just Anissa and Jordan still working on the barrels alone, babe. Mm-hmm. And at this point, we see Olivia and Horatio. They're, I think, in 6th place, 5th or 6th place.
Yeah.
And so they're running and they have to stop because they need to take a break. And Horatio has a diary room. Horatio has a diary room. And he's like, I mean, we need to just be pushing ourselves and we need to keep going. But Olivia just isn't really doing that. It's like, And so Horatio, he's like, Olivia, you need to go. And she's like, damn, hold on. And she's like, no, run. And she's like, I can't really run right now.
He's like, well, they're ahead of us. And she's like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
literally
I'm tired.
So she has a diary room, and Olivia's like, I feel like he's just trying to push me past my limit, and you can't really push me past my limit. It's a limit, babe. Like, I'm not push past it, and he's gonna lead us to fucking failure if he continues to do that. And it's like, ooh.
Not trouble in paradise.
I was just gonna say that. So after this,
they're supposed to be out unproblematic phase.
Girl, they was doing so good. So after this, Nelson has a diary room, and he's like, you know, I just love setting the tone. We're in the lead. We're those girls, and just love making this da 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 da. It's like, okay, girl. Okay. So, boom, where we at? Johnny and Nani, they have a discussion about how Johnny's apologizing to Nani for being snappy with her and not really playing the game. And they have diary room together, and how they're talking about how, oh, we go from yelling with each other to supporting each other, and we're so funny and goofy. And we love this, girl.
We don't give a damn. They said they think they're one of the stronger teams left, which I have to agree with because, I mean, literally all of the rookie teams have been fucking imploding on themselves, in my opinion, by the help of Fessy and Nelson, which I still consider rookie teams.
Period. So we flash back to Olivia and Horatio. They are in 6th place at this point. And Olivia is yelling because Horacio's not communicating with her. He's literally stopped talking to her at this point. And she's like, why are you not communicating? I'm going to need you to tell me what to do. And he's like, just put it down. And she's like, what? Do I need to put it down or up or up? He's like, just drop it. And she's like, okay. And then she drops it. And he's not really telling her what he wants her to do. And she has a diary room.
Scene was weird. Like I did not get it. So I
just wasn't talking.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like we didn't fully understand his emotion there. He was mad. Like he didn't speak because he was mad. And he thought he was like going to go off on her.
He says that he like retracts. So he was retracting, I guess, by not speaking. I don't know. But Olivia has a diary room and she's like, honestly, I need someone who can communicate. And Horatio literally is not speaking. So I don't know what the fuck we're going to do because he's not speaking. And I'm the type of bitch, I need to know what we're doing, when we're doing it, how we're going to do it. And if he's not telling me what to do, then we're never going to be able to get this done, like, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it was just a recipe for failure at this point. And it's like, usually they do so good at the daily. So it was like, damn.
And so this is a mini trial.
It was bad for them.
So it's like, this is what you may have to deal with.
So we pull up to the next checkpoint. And at this point, you have to sabotage your opponents by clipping sandbags to your opponent's sled. And then you're going to have to take your sled with however many sandbags are on it, pull it across the field, and then you can start building your puzzle, which is a block puzzle. It's one of those puzzles where every side of the puzzle has to have a different image on it. But there's like so many images on so many blocks.
Very confusing.
So Theresa and Nelson put two of their bags on Nani and Bananas. And then the other two
on Amber and Chauncey. It's like mad hating ass bitches. Because be realistic, Amber and
Chauncey were in 7th place.
Like literally dead last damn near. If it wasn't for Anissa, they would have been last. So it's the fact that y'all, like, what was the point? Like, what was the point? I guess you can make the argument, well, we put them in, so they may go after us. You know Amber and Chauncey was catching up for real.
Please.
Amber got these girls pressed.
No reason. Fessy and Mariah, they put all 4 of theirs on Tori and Devin because Tori and Devin are currently in 3rd place. And they was like, fuck all that. So after that, Theresa and Nelson, they pull their sled and they start stacking their cubes, trying to figure out their cube puzzle. And Fessy and Mariah are right behind them. So those 2 are kind of in contention for 1st place at this point. After that, that's when Devin and Tori pull up. They put 2 on Horatio and Olivia and 2 on Anissa and Jordan. Horatio and Olivia got them mad. Like, calm down. After this, we see Fessy and Mariah have already completed their damn puzzle this damn early. They finish it, boom, they did. So Fessy and Mariah are now in 1st place ahead of the pack, period. And now the other teams are kind of showing up to this little next checkpoint. So at this point, Johnny and Nani pull up. They put all of their bags on Olivia and Horatio. So they got all them damn bags. And then we see that Theresa and Nelson are struggling to finish their puzzle. Because at this point, if Theresa and Nelson were able to finish their puzzle, they probably could still catch up to Fessy and Mariah. But they are struggling down. And everybody else was behind them. So it's like, damn, like, even if we get finished, we're going to have to catch up.
It's crazy. Fessy and Mariah really ate that. Like,
really ate that.
Because this seems to be a really hard part for everyone else. Like, some pretty smart teams.
Really ate it up. And that's the thing. People kept having diary rooms throughout the episode. Like, how is Fessy doing this shit? How's Fessy completing this shit? I don't know. Is this rigged? And it's like, oh my God. But Theresa has a diary room. And she's like, I feel like I could solve the puzzle if Nelson just sat there and shut the fuck up. But Nelson keeps trying to do shit. It's like, you don't have to do shit. Like, I could just solve it. So she was getting a little frustrated about that. But hey, we moved. Boom. After that, Horatio and Olivia, they pull up. They put all 4 of their bags on Anissa and Jordan because damn near Anissa and Jordan are the only people behind them. No shade. And then Amber and Chauncey pull up. So we see finally Tori and Devin finish their puzzle. So Tori and Devin are in 2nd place, but Fessy and that girl have left oodles ago, bitch. After that, Nelson and Reese finally finished their puzzle. And then we see Casey and Kenny get done. And when Casey and Kenny get done, Casey is whispering to her girlfriend. And she's like, Nani, make sure you check the stars and look at the stars. But that didn't even help. It didn't even help.
No, and she really didn't help at all. It didn't help at all. She might have what you went over and told her. I mean, shit, you want to cheat. This is why I can't do this lovey-dovey shit. Oh, let me go help my wife.
So everyone has left this section, checkpoint 2, except Johnny and Nani, and then Anissa and Jordan. But everybody else is gone. And Mariah and Fessy have a big ass lead at this point.
Big ass lead.
And Fessy has a
diary. Nasty. Like it honestly, it was impressive. It was.
It was nasty as fuck. And this is a mini final, so it's like let them get to the real final. But
will they?
That might be a problem because
with the game they're playing. Will they?
That's the thing, because if I was any other team, if they don't have a connection with me, which Fessy said he does not feel like doing, I'd be like, well, then they can go in because they just won the mini final. So when it comes to the real final, they're clearly competition. The fuck. So.
And now they have to carry right. And now they have to carry 6 tires.
They pull up on some tires. You got to bring all 6 of those tires to the next checkpoint. So that's what the fuck they're gonna do. Fessy has a diary room, and he's like, when I win a daily, I want to blow the girls out of the water when I win the daily.
He want to be mother. And it's like, okay, blow the girls out of the water in the final.
Sure, Jan. Make it to a final. I don't know. So, Jordan and Anissa, they finished their block puzzle, leaving only Johnny and Nani at the block puzzle. And it's like, why are y'all there still?
Not like that. Come on, Banani. Like what?
Embarrassing.
I can't believe that puzzle tripped him up. I mean, it did look hard. I don't think I would have got it that fast, but y'all supposed to be back.
Like, yeah, y'all been doing this for 30 seasons. Y'all ain't never got this puzzle.
Right. I'm pretty sure they've had before. That's why
they've gotten this puzzle before. The amount of times they played. Like, please. So, Nelson and Theresa, they're in second place. No, they're not. Yes, they are. And Tori and Devin are right behind them. So it seems like even though Tori and Devin left before them at the puzzle, Nelson and Theresa ran past them a little bit when they got the tires. But then we'll see that Tori and Devin run past them a little bit. So they're like right neck and neck, but neck and neck for second place, babe. So who cares? After this, we get to checkpoint 3. Fessy and Mariah pull up. You have to pull your tires over a wall. And then once you get them over the wall, you have to stack them in order from geographical order.
Yeah.
From south to north.
Each tire has a city on it. And you have to stack them from south to north in geographical order. I could have did this. Like it's really process of elimination. It really is. Because like they have places like Sydney, of course, Australia, London. We don't know where London at. Now some of the other shit. Because he said one of the names was because they filmed somewhere in Iceland or something, and I wouldn't have got that. Oh yeah.
So, boom. After this, he starts stacking them up. They get their tires over. They start stacking them up. That's when he's telling him where Fessy knows about the Iceland shit. And they finish stacking, and they're moving along.
Yeah.
As they finish stacking and moving along, now the other teams are trying to pull up or something. And that's Devin and Tori. They pull up to checkpoint 3 because they're in second place. But at this point, Fessy and Mariah has passed the finish line.
And it's funny because I guess the cameraman
TJ was like, go ahead and tell him.
Yeah. Y'all, it's over. Like, imagine you work at the cameraman, like, you cut it. Oh, okay.
So we blasted everybody at their designated spot, and they're like, oh, that was it? And then we see Tori and Devin. They're like, you telling me Fessy got it done? And Tori was like, he's not here. And he's like, I don't even see the tires. And she's like, they laying on the ground. And he was like, oh, it's the green tires? It's the green tires.
Yeah, the green tires. Wow. He was gagged at the puzzle, too. He was like, Fessy and Mariah are completing puzzles in under 10 seconds. We got a problem. Devin is hilarious.
So we flash to Horatio and Olivia being told, and Horatio just drops the tires and walks the fuck away.
Doesn't say nothing. Olivia is like, what the fuck?
And so she starts crying. And as she's crying, Amber and Chauncey, they pulling up. And she's crying. She gets consoled by them. And she's basically like, this nigga just dropped the tires and walked the fuck away. Didn't hug me. Didn't tell me, are you good? You did good, teammate. Nothing. It's like, what the fuck? And Horatio
Amber's so nice. She consoling Olivia. It's like, come on, queen. Why everyone hate her? She be consoling.
Everybody hates her. It's frustrating because everybody hates her. And she's still consoling the girls. So Horatio has his diary room. And he's like, I just needed to shut down right now. I needed to shut down right now. And I needed to isolate right now. It's like, you needed to isolate.
And he's like, it may not be the right thing, but he needed him because he doesn't want to blow up. That's why I'm assuming, like, was he going to cuss her out? Like, what's tea?
Cuss me out. That's why I need to get on and be his partner. So he cuss me out. Because you're not walking away from me, man. Because first of all, I'm going to have a crush. So I'm being loved. So if you start treating me crazy, then it's going to get crazy. It'll get crazy.
He would have fought you. He would have blew up and fought you. That's not what he meant.
Well, then let's fight. Like, he will get sent home, and then he come back next season and fight me again. Like, don't get crazy. Fuck, I'll ruin your bag every season.
What?
You don't want to fuck with me. That's the thing. Y'all don't want to fuck with me. Because if I get beef, every season my goal would just be to get you out. It would not be anything. And I don't even want to get you out by beating you in a challenge. I would just want to get you out by making you mad and hit me. I'm gonna be one of those. Josh,
oh my god.
Maybe. So,
oh my god. It does give Josh.
It does give Josh. And I don't want to ever give Josh
a bottom.
I might give him some head. Okay, Ashley. Don't get kicked out.
Okay, Ashley didn't have to say the F slur. She did not say the F slur. But I would have called him a bottom.
And why did y'all remove her from calling him?
Remove her for telling the truth? I mean,
I don't know. Like, I just never heard of that before.
It's sad
because ever since trashy as fuck. So you can say anything, but actually you need to remember, like,
it did not need to be the F slur. Because it's problematic in general.
But that's the thing. What was he saying to her? Josh will say a lot.
Yeah, we didn't watch the season. All I know is I wouldn't have said the F slur. I would have called him a bottom or a sissy. I don't know.
But that's the thing. She probably don't know those terms like that.
You're right. You know? She country, so she went straight to slur. You know them.
Yeah. You know them. So Johnny and Nani laying down at the damn block location when they're told. They're still not doing anything. Playing around.
Yeah, he dragging her on the sledge. Like, we're promised to be serious. No, y'all not.
It's like y'all
don't have to be. It's okay.
Unserious at all.
All your allies are there. Y'all not going in. That's cool. Y'all are good.
Y'all are good. Great even. So we go to the announcement of Fessy and Mariah have won. They completely dominated. Woo, you know TJ. He do his thing. And TJ says they now have the most power ever because we're going to switch it up a bit. Ride or die pairs are no more. Nani looks like she's finna throw up.
Because she knew. Like, without bananas, it may be over.
Because she win a final on her own.
I mean, we don't even know if she can win one bananas, child. She ain't there
yet. But she damn sure can't win her own. It's been 8 seasons, or however many seasons. 18. It was a lot.
It's been a lot.
Amber and Chauncey also look very sick, but they're dating, so I get that. Mm-hmm. And Theresa also looks a little bit sick. Theresa's like...
And then he basically reveals that the winning pair is going to have to divide them up into teams. Mm-hmm. And do you think this is something that's going to be permanent? Do you think this is going to be an every round thing? Because my thing is, I assume they'd be winning with their pair. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, are we down in the individual game and it'll switch back? But that's the thing. It's kind of like, are they going to be able to switch back? Because what if one person goes home? I feel like somehow you'll go home with your ride or die. It just hasn't been explained yet. But I don't think this is permanent. I don't.
If it was, honestly, I think, how many people left?
8. No, it's 8 teams. It's 16 people altogether.
16 people. Girl, I don't know. I feel like if they have to do it in this team's way from now on, that would be fine. I don't think I would be too tripping about it. Like, I'm okay with them splitting up, but the name of the season being Ride or Dies, it just doesn't make sense, I feel. For them to do this kind of twist in this type of season. The whole thing that y'all been pushing down our throats is that Johnny and Nani are actually Ride or Die.
That's why I feel like it has to be some kind of connection thing. Like, okay.
Y'all are, and they purposefully made sure that each Ride or Die was on one team.
Exactly.
So
it makes me feel like, let's say Casey team lost. Casey gets sent in. If Casey go home, bye Kenny. It doesn't matter if you got to play. Bye Kenny.
Okay.
Or like, let's say your team.
How's the zone gonna work?
So that's the thing. Let's say it's teams. Usually with this team, one team win. So it can be like your team is safe, but if your ride or die gets chosen, you're gonna have to go in. So let's say Casey gets chosen to go in. Well, now Kitty has to fight in,
and that's kind of interesting.
Next to whoever and who else is fair. It can be something like that. I don't know.
I think that's kind of interesting, honestly, because especially if it's like. Because, sometimes when they do teams, they were speculating, like, what if the other team has to vote one of us in, or what if we have to vote our own in? And then that's interesting because if the whole team is voting to choose, Amber, Chauncey, or Amber alone to go against Olivia alone, just so happened, damn, Chauncey and Horatio got to go in. And it's like, ooh. So that is interesting. Child. So Fessy and Mariah are going to be responsible for making those two teams. Fessy's going to make one. Mariah's going to make one. So that's going to be very interesting. They're going to be team captains or whatever. And TJ was like, I just want to let you know, you want to make sure that your team is stacked. But that's the thing. For him to tell them to make sure their team is stacked, it just doesn't make sense that any of them would be vulnerable. Because if they're stacked, it wouldn't even matter.
But
it's the challenge.
So the challenge be having all kinds of twists for real. He be lying to them. Like, he will straight up lie to them.
So he says, make sure your team is stacked. And Theresa's worried because she's like, I'm scared that if I get picked for the wrong team, like Mariah's team, that it's not gonna be stacked because Mariah's probably just gonna let Fessy pick all the
basically
players.
Everyone clocks that Fessy's gonna run Mariah down to the ground. Unfortunately.
So back at the villa, we see that Nelson talks to Fessy, and essentially they kind of brainstorm what he's gonna do. And Fessy is like, honestly, I want to stack my team. Like, I want my team to be stacked as fuck. And Nelson was like, yeah, but you also want friends on the other team in case there's a situation where the other team is voting someone to go in. Fessy was like, sure, I also want to stack my team.
And I mean, this kind of he extends on it like later in the episode, but it kind of starts him basically saying like they've come a long way, but it's a new game. He's mentioning like, he knows these challenges and these people more than her, so he's going to use that to his advantage. And I don't know, I feel like it's a weird situation because in a way the game did pit the two ride or dies against each other by separating them and making them pick teams, but I just still feel like it's so icky, I guess because it's Fessy and we know how Fessy is, messy Fessy. Like the way he flipped on her so easily, it was so nasty. Like I just feel like it got real low in a way. Not low, he was making fun of her and anything like that, but it's just like to the point where I don't give a fuck about this bitch. And it's like, whoa. Because like I thought y'all were besties, like they said they were childhood friends. Like I just don't get it. Like I think he really directed all of his mind to thinking that she's the enemy in this moment. And it's like, she's nowhere near your enemy because even if y'all are on different teams, you can probably beat her in the final. She's someone you can still work with. Like, Fessy is just so like, I don't know. Like, what you think? Do you think that should have been his initial reaction? Like, what would you have done? It was me and you, and we got pitted against each other. Would you be that? I don't think I would be thinking that hard about it. I wouldn't be too pressed to be just, let me make sure I get this. I don't think I would care that much, honestly. This is my ride or die. Like,
that's the thing. Like, I think I would be okay with just having to be even, girl. Who cares? I don't think I would care that much. I really don't think I would care that much at all. But Fessy has a diary room, and he's just like, I've been walking Mariah through this game up to this point, so I'm chilling. Like right now, I hope she don't try to get the upper hand with getting these people because
like, she wasn't even thinking like that. Like,
no one cares. And I think the issue with Fessy is that he's insecure, which we've covered. And I think his insecurity shines through in moments like this because he is so hell bent on getting a team that's going to help him get to the end because he's sad that he hasn't won one of these challenges yet because he thinks he's on the same level as Jordan and Johnny.
But he also has to be realistic. That's the thing. Okay. And we're going to get into the teams, but it's like, you want a strong team. Okay. Are you thinking you're going to go to the final with this team? Like, you're going to beat your way to the final? Because why would you want to be in the final with all of the strongest people left in the game? You're going to lose.
I don't know. But does he think that way?
I don't know. Clearly not. There's nothing going on with that noggin. That's why he hasn't won nothing.
And that's the issue. So after this, we go to the club. We pull up to the club. At the club, we see Amber and Chauncey talk. And basically, Amber has a diary room. She's like, it sucks because, I want to play this game with Chauncey. That's my man. But at least Chauncey can now get his own legacy in this game instead of just being, my boyfriend, So that's cute.
Because I do feel like people be playing the Chauncey face. Because Chauncey, he don't really do too much. He just with Amber.
And that's it. That's all. After this, we see Horatio and Olivia talk, and Horatio apologizes.
He actually the fuck shit. Apologizes to mother.
And Olivia basically, she forgives him, and she's like, we good. And she has a diary.
Olivia is so nice. Because these niggas be playing the house like this, she'd be like, I just feel like I have to forgive them and move forward.
She's playing that game according to that diary room because she says in diary room, I definitely want to still be cool with Horatio because even though he was playing in my face, it would be smartest for me to try to get to the end of the game with him anyways, because he gonna have my back.
Honestly, I keep forgetting Olivia is really a strategic basketball. Like, that's what it is.
Every scene, it's like she kind of has a diary room giving us an explanation.
This is for a reason, babe.
After this, Fessy has a conversation with Casey.
That's basically Casey is running out for real. You know this bitch Mariah. He like
for real. This is one of two strategy conversations he had, and
Mind you, I'm pretty sure. I mean, have you not known Mariah longer? I don't know. I just feel like,
probably.
Where's the shame? Like, damn, you don't got loyalty to nobody.
None. But himself.
And it's like, now I see why he treated Fessy like that. He's treating a girl that he's known for years like this. Of course, he's gonna treat you like that,
girl. And Nelson over here saving him. Please.
Dummy.
Anyways,
dummy 1 and dummy 2. That's the new one of a dummy 1. They're both dummy 2s.
Both dummy 2s, and that's the issue. At least have a dummy 1 to help guide
the blind leading the blind, child.
In the dumbest place. I don't know, but Fessy and Casey, they have a conversation.
They need Corey, a real man in the house.
A real man?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a white man.
So a real white man, yes.
Okay, I'll give you that. Fessy has a diary room basically that he's gonna outsmart Mariah at the interrogation. He's gonna make sure that she gets all the people that he doesn't want, and I'm gonna get all the good girls.
Like he's just so overly. Like I just think he's like not overthinking it, but it's like you're doing all of this to try to outsmart this girl who's not even on that type of time, who still wants to work with you, who loves you, who you was just trying to damn it this morning. Like I just like, is it that serious?
And like, for what? For a team of people who you don't even know how long you're gonna be with them, and you don't know how much we're gonna do. I guess when TJ said they need to be stacked, he took that and ran with it, and it's like
that's exactly what it was. And then he makes a comment now. He's like, I guess when it's time to vote, ride or die. He said in quotation marks, how much are we really ride or die? And it's just like this nigga ain't shit. This nigga is not shit. And oh my god. And I guess I'll talk about it when we get to the actual deliberation, because she tweeted about the situation. We'll talk about it then,
girl. So after this, Jordan and Theresa are caught cuddling a little bit. Jordan got that hand on her ass, girl. They're looking real scrumptious in the middle of the fucking hallway.
Real booed up.
So we get a jealous diary room for Tori. She was jealous. And after
she was upset. And honestly, it's like I just like it was not smart. It was definitely not smart for Tori to, continue trying to. I feel like. Work out some type of relationship with him. It was not, but at the same time, it's like I just think it's weird on Jordan's part, because it's like you don't cuddle and do all this. It's both parties is definitely in the wrong, which is why they didn't have to be. That's why they don't need to be together. They broke up for a reason. But it's just like it's too much. It really is too much.
So Jordan has a diary room, and he's basically like, I'm not going to just stop my peace because Tori's mad, so I will continue to cuddle.
And I think that's what it comes down to, because it's like, it's hard to say he should, because at the same time, should he? Like, why?
They're literally not dating.
But it's like, it's at the same time, it is a respect thing, and also, he knows he's cuddling with her. He knows he's wrestling with her. And that's why I hate when niggas try to act dumb, because for a fact those things could be seen as a reason for her to have some type of feelings get attached to you. You're not wrestling and cuddling with none of your boyfriends. Is you like? Come on now. Is you wrestling and cuddling with Anissa? No. You cuddling with 2 people this season from what we saw, and it was Theresa and Tori. So I would get the impression that you want me too. I'm naked all up in your face, titties out, pussy out, and Tori, is you walking around naked in front of Anissa?
Well, so Tori and Devin talk, and Tori's mad because Jordan is cuddling with people in front of her face. It's very disrespectful as fuck. So Tori has a diary room. She's like, you know what? I'm trying to work on not being spiteful. That was my problem, was being spiteful. So I don't want to do that. I don't. And Amber walks outside. Tori's like, what was they doing? Can you tell me like some details?
What's the tea?
So Amber comes over, and Amber's like, I mean, he was cuddling all the fuck on there, and that is disrespectful. That's fake as fuck. He's right in the living room, cuddling up on her. And hey, Tori was like, you know what? I just prefer to be out here, and then they can be in there. And that's all. And Devin has a diary room. He's like, damn, I'm scared that Tori's going to kind of snowball down this hill of, Jordanness, and he does not want that.
Because it's a very triggering situation. It is, because, I mean, the way she spoke about it, this situation really sits her, bad. She had to discover a lot of things about herself and her mental health that she had to fix. So it's just, it sucks that's right in your face. And the Childs will do that to you because they love this type of mess. They live for it.
I don't know. I just feel like it's confusing for me because I'm still a nigga at the end of the day. So I'm also not shit. Don't get it twisted. So for me, it's like, I mean, Tori, can you be mad that this nigga's
It's really just I think it's a morality thing, it's a respect thing. I don't think any party is necessarily wrong. If you feel like it's disrespectful, then it's disrespectful. If you feel like it's not, then I mean you have the right to feel like it's not. I just think, like I said, both parties have a lot of things going on, which is why they're not even supposed to be together in the first place. You know what I mean?
And I do think it's fake. I think what's weird and which makes me lean towards, supporting Tori is the fact that he was just fucking with Tori. He was just cuddling but why was Tori cuddling with him? And that's the thing. I can't be mad at Tori because niggas ain't shit. And I feel like that's kind of what it is. I'm thinking like, well, Tori, niggas ain't shit. But I can't say that. I can't be like, Tori, niggas ain't shit. Like, you should know better because niggas ain't shit. Like, that's not fair to say.
Yeah, and the heart wants what it wants. You know what I mean? She obviously has some type of feelings for him in this environment.
And he has feelings for Theresa, so she should be okay with that.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, she can be okay with it. But it's like, it's still just a weird situation.
It's still weird as fuck. This is very confusing. I don't like it. Makes me feel icky. After this, we get Johnny and Mariah talk. And essentially, Johnny tells us, the viewers, that he's scared that Fessy finna run over this bitch. And he doesn't want her to get run over because that's somebody that he's close to, that he could be cool with, that needs to be on his team. And maybe he can run her a little bit. So that's what he tries to do. So Mariah's like,
I 100% trust Fessy. He's not gonna backstab me. He loves me and I love him. We're besties and
so she talks about who she wants and
nothing going on up there
on her team.
Nothing. Pretty face.
Oh God.
Beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns. So Mariah says that she just doesn't want Anissa on her team. We all know why. And Mariah is hoping that Fessy, because essentially they know that they're probably going to have a schoolyard pick. And so Mariah's like, Johnny's scared because he's like, okay, but if you don't want Anissa and you pick Jordan, what if Fessy picks me instead of you picking? And she's like, well, I think if I pick Jordan, he'll pick Nelson, which will allow me to pick you. And Johnny's like, okay, if you trust him, I don't know. And like, maybe you just pick me. And he has a diary room. He's like, I'm scared that Mariah's not going to get the team she wants because Fessy doesn't give a fuck about the team she wants. But we'll see. We get to the deliberation. So they pull up and they're on different sides of the table. And there's these cute little blocks of every person's image. And the two, the pairs. And if Mariah has one pair partner on her team, then Fessy automatically is going to get the other. So they start deliberating and talking about what they want to do. And so I will say I like the way Mariah was in this deliberation. It wasn't necessarily the same as I felt like the entire rest of the show.
She definitely spoke up her mind a lot more. I thought like the other people in the house that she was about to just get ran the fuck over. Like he was about to go in there and say, "This is your team," and he tried it, and she was like, "No."
So they talk. Essentially, Fessy's like, I want to make sure that I have some friends on my team. Repeating his King Nelson, his blind mice leading him. That he makes sure he wants to have on his team. And so Fessy's like, how about Casey? And Mariah, what I really, really like, is she was like, okay, you got Casey and Anissa. You got Casey and Anissa, and then I'll just take, Jordan and Kenny. Right? And at that point, they're like, okay, whatever.
Okay, what are we going from here?
And so they move along. And she kind of ate that up. And Fessy was like, Nelson's my boy, but Bananas and Devin, they got a lot of experience. So I kind of want to make sure I have one of them. So Fessy grabs Bananas. And Mariah was like, that's not going to work.
That's just not going to work. Because
I'm simply just not going to work.
I thought she was going to have like a legitimate, like full, like plan. Like y'all not going to mesh well. I want Bananas. So it's not going to work.
This is not going to work. So Fessy was like, well then, if you don't want Johnny, if I can't have Johnny, let me have Jordan. And she was like,
no. Shut up. What are you talking about?
Why are you getting Jordan? So Fessy has a diary room and he's like, you know what? I'm going to let her have Johnny so I can have every other good person and my team can be stacked. And she can
Jordan, so she can have Jordan.
Oh, Jordan, my bad. So she can have Jordan. She wants him so bad. And it's like, child. So what Fessy does is he takes Nelson, gives her Theresa. And Mariah's like, you're doing too much. Because not you have Nelson and Johnny and
she said your team is stacked,
Casey,
babe.
Your team is stacked.
I see what you're doing.
Your team is stacked. And she says, I'm just trying to do what's fair for both of us, and you're doing what's best for you. And I don't really like that. Like, I don't know what's going on. She has a diary room, and she's like, Fessy is selfish as fuck.
Yeah, mind you, this is her realizing her friend is absolutely not shit. The man she's known for years. Yep. And like she even tweeted about it, child. Let's get up in this tea. Let's get up in this tea.
No. Because at this point, she was like, I've been trying to defend him. Like, people kept calling him selfish.
I remember that scene in Total Drama when Heather was like, everyone called you a nasty two-time and fake backstabbing.
Yeah.
That's what this. Mariah is literally figuring out that Heather/Fessy ain't shit. Mm-hmm. But Mariah tweets, I trusted Fessy to be a good friend, but instead, when we were walking back from the mini-final, I asked him if we could talk to make fair teams, and he said, I brought you here. I became super sick, and he said, not my partner, not my problem.
Hashtag not my partner. Hashtag not my problem.
Like, how ain't shit can you be?
Girl. So they literally start all the way over creating the teams, and then we don't get to see what that conversation is like, because we zoom to the next day. In the morning, we see Jordan and Tori have their conversation about,
she calls him out.
She calls him out. And Tori's basically like, I mean, you and Theresa obviously got something going on that y'all want to just show everybody.
And this is what I hate when niggas start lying, because why you say, no, we don't? Why are you lying? That's the thing. Oh, that's the thing. Maybe he's not lying. Maybe he honestly doesn't think he have anything with none of these girls. Because Theresa thinks she got something with Jordan.
Because that's the thing. If he thinks he doesn't have nothing with Theresa, and he's been doing the same thing he's been doing with Tori, he also doesn't think he has anything with Tori. So maybe he doesn't think he has anything going on with Theresa.
And it's like, if that's the case, you just ain't shit. Because does Theresa know y'all have nothing going on?
Tori knows she has nothing going on with Jordan. So why does she think he has something going on with Theresa if they're doing the same thing? You know we're not dating, so why would I be dating Theresa if I'm laying with you and Theresa?
No. But that's the thing. It makes sense from Tori and Therese's perspective. Jordan, on the other hand, you're actively cuddling, touching, rubbing on two girls and thinking that you're not actively or romantically involved with either one of them. You're the problem. And men walk around doing that all the time. They do.
Well, he can rub on me. So she basically is like, it's disrespectful as fuck. And Tori was like, literally, we've been naked in my bed. So I don't understand how you don't understand that because you've been naked in my bed and now you're literally cutting around with this other girl. It's disrespectful. Like, that's weird as fuck. I look stupid as fuck. And that's weird as fuck.
And he basically says, like, this isn't like some elaborate scheme to get back at you. And I don't think it was an elaborate scheme. It's just fucked up.
It's just fucked up. And you don't do that to somebody. And she said that. She's like, you don't do that to somebody who you been like, you just don't do that to anyone, period. And Jordan has a diary room. And he's like, you know what? I just needed a reminder of why me and Tori weren't together. And this was a good reminder of that. And they start arguing, and Jordan's like, once again, it's all my fault. Once again, it's just me, and it's all me, and da-da-da-da.
It is. It literally is.
It kind of is, babe. And then Tori has a diary room, and she's like, you know what? There's just no way to communicate with him. Like, there's no communicating with him. It's just going to be an argument. It's just going to be a yelling match. You know, I see why we were done, and maybe we just don't need a friendship either. But my thing is, because this thing, Jordan's not shit, and he fucked up. But also, she says here, like, maybe we didn't need a friendship at all. At like nothing, we need to cut all ties. It needs to just be game. But it's like, not saying that she didn't want a friendship, but she was laying up naked with him.
But at the same time, it's like, I think her emotions are involved really deeply with him. I feel like, of course, it was on both of them to check those actions. And clearly, from Tori's perspective, he was being receptive. So she thought he was interested. And I think from his perspective, he was just like, well, she's naked in front of me, and I'm going to color with her as a distraction. Like, it honestly is just two ways of thinking. And from my perspective, the way Jordan looked at it is fucked up. And I think most men look at the way Jordan looks at it, and it's really fucked up. Because it's like you're cuddling and flirting with these two girls. Whether you want to act like it or not, you have something going on with both of these girls. And now you're trying to gaslight Tori like she's crazy. That's what I don't like about it, because he's like, it brings us to the last few months of our relationship. He's like, when she's upset and mad, she wants you to be upset and mad and feel bad. And it's like, you should feel bad because her emotions are hurt. Do you want to hurt the emotions of someone that you consider a friend? Like, I just feel like there are a lot of things that go into why it's fucked up. And I don't think Jordan's taking any accountability. It's really messed up. Because he's even saying like, he doesn't want to be a part of the Tori show. He feels like she's doing all of this and making a scene to be part of the Tori show. And it's like, no, nigga, you ain't shit. And it's like, I feel like if this is a situation that makes him feel like, well, this reminds me of our relationship, what was you doing in a relationship?
Then you had to be the problem in the relationship, low key. Because, hey, babe, But he just really doesn't get it. It's crazy how he doesn't get it because it's like it's grown men. It's
Mm-hmm.
grown
and
men
I can
who
see
do
why
shit like
Tori
this.
would need like assistance with like I can see why she spiraled after the breakup because it's like she I feel like
Loki gaslighting her right here.
Gaslighting her, one, that's one, but two, it's like they completely look at the situation two completely different ways. If Jordan genuinely believes that he has nothing going on with any of these girls, nothing he's doing is wrong, then there's a huge disconnect because Tori believes everything he's doing is disrespectful and wrong. So it's like she has to deal with the fact that he does not care because he doesn't. That's the crazy thing. Jordan honestly doesn't give a fuck, and Tori has to deal with that because she gives a lot of fucks.
Yep. So after this,
that's why Jordan honestly need a bitch like Naya, like for real. Because Naya's gonna put him in his place. You're not gonna talk to Naya crazy. You're not gonna bust him at Naya. You're not gonna gaslight Naya.
Period. But that's the thing. I don't think it could ever work because you would see they're not together. But also, I just feel like I don't think Jordan would ever accept. I think Jordan would accept a woman who was a little more, allowing of his bullshit.
Yeah.
Which a lot of men do. I think a lot of men seek out women who allow their bullshit. And there's a lot of pick-me's out there that he might probably can find. Mm-hmm. And we might see Jordan end up with a bitch who's gonna let him do whatever he wants.
And it's me. I'm bitches.
And I am, and that is me. The fuck? I don't know. We'll see though. Ciao. And that's why these niggas need me, because I will sit there and do what they want. I will. He would have told me I'm not winning Reese. I'm like, oh girl, I'm stupid.
So conversation over.
Like, my bad. I'm sorry, babe. Do you want me to cook you dinner? Think you're bad. So the zone, we pull up to the zone, kind of, whatever it is. And Fessy and Mariah are at the top, and they're deciding what teams they're gonna have, and everybody else pulls up, and all the other teams are standing out there. I do actually. So, boom. Yeah. So we start off, and they flip a coin to decide who's gonna choose first. Bloop, bling, boom. And it's Fessy. So Fessy gets to choose first. And if you recall, Mariah kind of was leaning towards having Jordan and Johnny on her team because, Anissa's one of Fessy's friends. There's a lot of reasons, but really she just wanted Jordan and Johnny on her team. So we'll see. We're kind of seeing if that's going to happen. And we started off. Fessy chooses Case. So Mariah automatically gets Kenny. We get a diary for Casey. She's like, it sucks because Kenny's gonna be a way easier target now that he's not attached to me. He ain't got no friends. He's not that girl. So people might try to get his ass out. Because that's the thing, if their team loses, they could easily just be like, oh, let's just throw in Kenny. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. Fessy has a diary room. He's like, now that it's Mariah's turn to choose, it's like, do you want Jordan or do you want a well-rounded team? Like, what do you want? Because if you do what you were saying you were going to do, you might not get a well-rounded team the way you need to get a well-rounded team. And Mariah has a diary room, and she's like, I do want
it's
Jordan.
Honestly, he is just saying shit. So I feel like, let's say she went bananas first. He probably picks Jordan.
Yep.
Like, either way, he was going to fuck
either
her
way,
up.
Yeah.
And she should have got her lick back, but she didn't.
I don't know why the fuck she didn't get it. And that's the thing. By the end of this, I just had to be like, okay, I can't even defend nobody because she had a great opportunity and did not take it. But I don't know. I guess she wanted to make sure. I think this is Mariah's thing. Not only does her team need to be strong, but she also wanted people on her team she has a connection with. I think she has a connection with Jordan and Johnny, and she did not have a connection with people like Nelson, who Fessy could have just had, Yeah. And that's kind of how she felt. But
after you play in your face, girl, you got to play back.
Yeah, you do. Because that's the thing. Fessy does not have a connection with Jordan. He does not have a connection with Johnny, which is why Mariah was like, well, I can just have them. And then you can have people like Nelson and Casey, big ass. Like, I don't know. So, after that, Mariah chooses. And she ends up choosing Jordan. And when she chooses Jordan, Fessy automatically gets Anissa, which is fine because that's his friend. And after this, it's kind of like, okay, is Fessy going to take her man? Or what's Fessy going to do? We get a quick diary room from Jordan, like, oh my God, I got picked before Johnny. And then Fessy chooses bananas. And the girl's mouths drop. My mouth to drop. Because that's like a statement.
Because not only does he not like him, he does not like him at all. But also, Bananas and Mariah is fucking.
Are fucking, and it's like he of course his reason for picking him is competition wise, but other than that, he doesn't have much of a reason to pick him. And Mariah's like, I mean, we could just have an even team. And I mean, let's just say, look at Mariah's team. Like, I'm not saying they're flops, but just.
But at the same time, I feel like
they're not flops.
They're not flops. I feel like Fessy's team, they just look bigger. Like, these challenges have not been based off physical attributes at all. They just haven't. They just haven't. So I don't think that them having bigger people in muscle is going to do anything.
I agree. I think it's actually more even than what it seems. Which is kind of part of the reason why I feel like he could have just let her have Johnny.
But after he chose Johnny, it's like, baby, choose Nelson.
Choose Nelson. So I was like, okay, she's gonna choose Nelson. I just simply think she just wanted Theresa on her team. I think she would prefer Theresa because she has a connection to Theresa. And she also just doesn't have a connection to Nelson. And she has connections to other people that he doesn't have. So she was like, fuck it, I choose Amber. And it's like, for me, I would have chose Nelson just to spit in his face a little bit. Like, you're not gonna have my man and Nelson and Casey. You're gonna take, some, and I'm gonna have Nelson. And he would have and I feel like he would have got real mad. He would have back to she took Nelson and she doesn't even know him, and I would have loved it. So that's why I would have did it. But she chooses Amber, so Fessy gets Chauncey, and then Fessy chooses Nelson, and then she gets Theresa. And I feel like this is kind of where I feel like she quotations messed up. If they do start losing a lot of challenges, I feel like she should have just chose Nelson. I feel like she should have just chose Nelson, and I don't think he would have chose Amber after that. So she could have had Amber and Nelson. I feel like she could have had both the people she wanted if she chose Nelson first, just to make sure he had to choose someone else. Fessy probably would have chose Chauncey over Amber anyway. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. I just don't even feel. I feel like she could have got her cake and ate it too, and spat in his face a little bit all together, and she just chose not to, which was kind of weird. But eventually, Fessy chooses Nelson. So Mariah gets Theresa, and Horatio has a diary room. He's like, Fessy's team is strong, but they're gonna butt heads. They don't like each other.
It's a bunch of personalities.
It's a bunch of people with a bunch of strong personalities. Anissa is going to want what she wants, and then Johnny does not fuck with Nelson or Fessy, and Nelson's going to try to push his agenda. And honestly, so is Tori and Olivia. It's a bunch of people who's just going to want their own agenda to happen, and we'll see how that works.
I'm honestly hoping Mariah's team can take it. I do. Just for egg on Fessy's face. Like, he deserves it.
So the last two teams waiting are Horatio and Olivia and Tori and Devin. And Devin has a diary room. He's like, ooh, I hope I'm past this getting picked last phase. I got picked last when I was in high school, and I don't want to get picked last. And then so Mariah chooses, and she chooses Horatio, as she the fuck should. And Devin's like, damn, I got picked last again. So Horatio goes to Mariah's team, which means Fessy gets Tori. And then when Fessy chooses, so Fessy gets Olivia. And then when Fessy chooses Tori, and Mariah gets Devin. So here are the teams. They're on the motherfucking screen. And Devin has a diary room. He's like, Fessy teams is stacked as fuck. And Mariah has a diary room. She's like, I mean, you just shouldn't underestimate us just because we're not as big as y'all.
And I agree.
As big as y'all, period.
I really hope they win.
I agree. It's just,
I'm really interested to see what this twist is going to be. Like I said, I really think they're still going to somehow go home with their ride or die, but we'll see.
We'll see. I'm interested too. What I hate is that there was not an elimination this episode. So we did all
my
of this.
God. And I would nothing happen too. Like, y'all could have put all of this in one up. Like, come on, cut some
45 minutes, 30 minutes, something. But yeah, child. I guess we'll see next week what this twist is gonna do, how it's gonna show up, if they're gonna leave alone, if they're gonna start leaving with their ride or dies, but on the opposite team. I don't know. But check us out next week. Hopefully it comes on time. It may not, bitch.
We'll see.
But we'll the fuck see. And thank you. Tune in for the other shit we got coming up because we will be busy bees soon. So check that out or whatever. Period.